Friends, today we will talk about the obstetric care. In our last session, we talked about pregnancy care. That was the gynec part, and now we are moving towards the obstetric part. But first of all, as you all know, in homeopathy, the first important step is case taking. If you know how to take the case, how to collect the rubrics from the patient, which questions we have to ask the patient, then only it is possible for us to reach to the C minimum. So today I am here first to explain the case taking in gynecology and obstetric cases. See, every individual disorder has different case taking. Individual patient, individual medicine, like that, individual case taking. Homeopathy is totally based on individuality. But every time this individuality is not related to medicine only or not related to patient only, but it is again related to the your approach towards every disease. So today we are talking about women. As we all know, women is the half of the population of the planet, and she is the most beautiful creation of the God. Before explaining the case taking in gynec and obstetric cases, let me give you a small idea about miasm, because we will utter this word miasm various times in our this session. So you should have some idea. Miasm is a force within a person creating a predisposition to certain kinds of illness. The main types of miasm, as per Dr. Hahnemann, the personalities are soric, which are high and lows, struggling with the outside world, lack of confidence, fear, anxiety about the future, but always having hope and mentally alert. Then we have psychosis people. They are secretive, hides their weakness, tense, constantly covering up situation, fixed habit, suspicious, jealous, and forgetful. And trust me, friends, today we are on the psychotic phase of this world. Then comes syphilis, strong, pessimistic view on life, cannot modify what is wrong, gives up, destroy, no point in trying to adjust, sudden impulsive violence, and distorted rigid ideas. I explain this just to give the idea about three miasms, because now I will explain the case taking along with every miasm in regard to every miasm. So you need to understand it. First question while gynec case taking should be about menarche. Ask if the menarche was at normal age, was it early or delayed menarche. Syphilis getting hold overall on our lives nowadays. We see girls of 9 to 10 years of age getting menarche. This could tell us about the precocity in the patient too. This is definitely syphilitic tendency. It can be delayed also in psychotics, not getting till age of 16 to 17 years. Normal soric get it at the age of 12 to 13 years of age. Then ask about menstrual cycle, whether it is regular or irregular. Is it exactly at 28 to 30 days, or it comes at 35 days, or it gets late more than 35 days? Every detail of the menses is going to lead us to the lurking miasm in the background. Soric female will have normal regular cycle with little delay or variation here and there. Psychotic will have too much delay by months or weeks or slightly early. And syphilitics will have variable menstruation. It never comes on time. It is delayed too longer, amenorrhea for 6 weeks, or too early menses, even at 15 days or at 10 days. It can be absent for months together. Then ask about duration of menses. How many days do her menses last? Then quantity is important, whether it is heavy or scanty. Because soric female usually have normal quantity in day and night. Psychotic female will have more flow during day, and syphilitic female will have more flow at the night. Then ask about the character of blood. Means, is it thick, clotted, or is it thin, watery? How is the color, dark or bright? Normally, a female should get bright red color with few clots. This shows normal sura. It will not have any odor. Like this. This is the normal color of menses, bright red. If the female has bright red but heavy bleeding, we can think about the remedies of hemorrhagic diathesis with bright blood. Like we have phosphorus, ferrum phos, ipecac, sabina and our belladonna. See, bright bleeding. You can see here. Then when a female gives us a history of dark clotted and dark black clotted blood, it shows her psychotic tendency of clotting due to excess fibrin, black due to excess pigments, and thick blood due to excess gluten. Stains the cloths which are difficult to remove. It may have mild odor and its color is like this, dark brown. This is psychotic. It can also indicate the group of remedies, especially Ophidia like Lachesis and Crotalus horridicus. Then we have Crocus sativa, Platina, Hamamelis, etc. See, here you can see the dark blood. Then moving to syphilitic female. They will have excessive bleeding causing fainting. Bleeding is profuse, copious, gushing, excess clot and membranous. It looks like black tar like stringy and it will have extremely bad odor, sometimes cadaverous odor. Cadaverous is the odor of the corpse, you know. So sometimes it can be cadaverous and it looks like Turkish black red, black rose color. The menses can be acrid which corrodes the cloths. Such indication also lead us to the remedies like we have creosote, carbovage, sickle cough and lilium tea. You can see here this dark syphilitic menses. Now ask about pens. Soric female usually have mild dysmenorrhea. In psychosis, she may have dull aching pains. The pains in psychosis may be present before 2 days of menses, before menses, and they get relief by doubling, bending, warm application, and as the flow increases. Syphilitic pains would be excruciating, tormenting, unbearable with anger and anguish. She may roll down with pain, has to hit. Extreme dysmenorrhea associated with severe vomiting or severe headache. See, there is a clue for syphilitic miasm. Everything is extreme. When pain becomes intolerable, when pain go beyond the tolerance threshold of the patient, then it is always syphilitic pain. Then ask about the characteristic symptoms before and after menses. Like normally a soric female may not have any complaint before, during or after menses. Whereas some female complain, doctor, I know when my menses are due. I start realizing it's 7-8 days before. My breast got engorged. I can't even touch my breast. They are so painful on touch. My legs pain and body swells. There is water retention. And my whole body comes to know that my menses are due. As I start shouting at everyone without any reason. See, the complete personality changes and the patient start crying without any reason. She may feel sadness, nervousness, irritability of mind before menses. But as soon as the menses appear, patient feels lively and energetic. For such condition, we have the rubric in our repertory that amelioration during menses. And trust me, we have 49 remedies for that. But what is the benefit after appearance of menses if you are putting the remedy? We need to remove this PMS before the menses, which the lady is suffering all the time. And for that, we have some remedies here. Here we know for sure that we are dealing with the remedy of Ophidia group or maybe Zincum who is better by discharges. If you have a female complaining of severe dysmenorrhea with vomiting or fainting, menses smell a lot, stains the cloth, sad and melancholic during menses, can think about magnesia group of remedies. Any peculiar symptom during menses can lead us to the semerema. Behavior of a female around and during menses gives us many clues for remedy selection. For example, if there is anger during beginning of menses, then we have only one remedy, that is aconite. If vision gets affected or aggravated during menses,
Ma'am,
then
sorry
we
to
have five
interrupt.
remedies. Yeah,
Ma'am, the resolution of the slides is bit low.
I can't help it with dear because it may be your problem, internet. My internet is really good today.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
But don't worry, I'm just reading the all slides for you, so don't worry. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. No problem.
If you have skin itching during menses, particular aggravation of skin itching during menses, then we have again 4-5 remedies, 9 remedies for such condition. If there is difficult respiration during menses, like patient get breathlessness, particularly during menses, then we have 28 remedies, and the important remedies cupramate and spongia. If there is copious urine during menses, then we have the remedy acid phos and sulfur, and many more remedies we have. These are just clue. See, whenever any lady visit you for anything, for suppose migraine or for any neurological disorder or anything else, just don't forget to ask about her menses. Ask, interrogate everything before menses, during menses, and after menses. The lady is really a lady in during, before, and after menses. So this time is really crucial and important to interrogate. Now ask about her menopause. In menopausal women, ask the time of menopause, whether it was early, normal, or delayed. Like early menarche, we may have female coming up with the early menopause at the age of 35. We know, we call it as menopause precox. This shows a syphilitic trait in a female. Some psychotics may bleed till age of 50 to 55 years. Soaring female may not even realize any symptoms or very minimal symptoms of hot flushes, irritability. Psychotics may go into fit of anger, water retention, increase in weight, etc. Syphilitics may go into rage, lot of menstrual irregularities, severe hot flashes, one moment feeling hot, wants AC, the very next moment feels very chilled. They may develop hysterical behavior or go into depression during their menopause. Now ask about obstetric case taking. See, which thing you should ask here? Because pregnancy is the essential part of any female's life. That phase of her life can tell us a lot about the female. First is, how was the pregnancy? Was it uneventful, normal, and natural? Or did she have any major events during that period? Don't forget to ask about history of any emotional suppression. Then ask about the pathology. Was there any history of habitual abortion or miscarriage or ectopic pregnancy in the past? This can tell us the syphilitic trait. Then it is very important question, how did she deliver the child? Was it cesarean section or was it normal delivery? If it is cesarean section, then in future we may suffer from the pediatric behavioral disorder in the child like autism, ADHD, and for that we have many remedies as discussed in the some 2-3 sessions back. I delivered one session for Kerala, so I think I discussed those remedies in that session. Then just ask about whether it is vacuum assisted birth because it may create hydrocephalus and you have to treat it. Or was it forceps assisted birth? If it is forceps assisted birth or cesarean section or vacuum assisted birth and it was not a normal labor, then please don't forget to give Arnica 200 one dose immediately after labor. Just suggest your patient or just teach your delegates or students to keep Arnica 200 with the pregnant lady. As soon as she delivers the child, give it to her. Then ask about breast and lactation. History of breastfeeding. Did she lactate well? Some female don't get milk at all or some may get at even till 1 year or 2 year. Any history of breast abscess during that time that can give us a clue of suppurating tendency in a female. Then don't forget to ask any history about hormonal pills. Because in our session of Nozodes and Sarcodes, I explained you one thing that if a lady has taken any types of hormonal pills, it may leave some molecular imprints of that remedy, the toxins of that remedy in the vital energy of the mother, which the mother can genetically transfer to the child. So please don't forget to ask such questions. Now, this is all about, in short, but only point to point I gave You can elaborate while asking to your delegates or your patients. Now, let me explain you about labor. Today we will discuss the given points here, labor and its management. See, pregnancy is an important change, important milestone in every female's life. And labor is the new birth for a female, though extremely painful, but still a dream of every lady. I wish if it is so easy. See, but unfortunately, it is not that much easy. We have to undergo a lot of pains. And for this pains and for normal labor, we have various remedies here. First of all, for the pain, we have chamomilla. Excessive painfulness in highly sensitive, irritable patients. You can prescribe chamomilla. Then we can think about pulsatilla. Like irregularity and uncertain pains are there, chiefly in the back. Then don't think just prescribe pulsatilla 200 water dose every 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Your patient will deliver the child. Then one more remedy is there, that is China. Pains recurring regularly for a time and then ceasing. 2 or 3 doses are usually sufficient. Potency will be 200 during labor. Then we have sickle cord, pains that are too weak and seem to be declining. See, if there are very weak pains, even after the doctors inject pitocin, we know that our doctors inject pitocin in normal saline just to give the just to create the pains for normal delivery, and still the pains are very small or weak and declining. Patient is not able to push the child. Then we can start with the sickle cord. Then we have colophylum. It is used as an uterine excitant during normal labor. Potency will be same 200. For labor pain, we have 57 remedies in our repertoire. I have listed them for you here. And it is surprising for me too that causticum was there, because I never thought of causticum for normal labor. But if it is mentioned in repertoire, it is there. And then we have a second rubric, delivery complaints during. From female genitalia says, we have 82 remedies. But it is not possible that we can keep all these 82 or 57 remedies in our obstetric kit. For that, you have to understand which remedy, 4 5 remedies you need to carry. These rubrics I am sharing just for information and knowledge. But I will share at the end when I will give you the takeaway parcel to carry your home. I will give you the names of 4 5 remedies which are sure short remedies which can induce the normal labor and can relieve your patient. Then we have few remedies which you can give to your patient if there is complaint during delivery due to grief. Suppose anything happened in the home, or if the lady already have a female child, because see, I witnessed this case once in my life when I was student and we used to practice in some gynec hospital. I witnessed this case. That lady delivered a child and she immediately asked us, was it a daughter or a son? Because it impacts a lot. If lady during her delivery all the time under grief that I want son this time, I want a male child this time because I already have one daughter or two daughters, then we can consider it as a grief. And causticum is a very good remedy in such condition, which not only relieve her grief but will increase her labor pains too. Then if the labor is long and painful, then we have one remedy, that is again arnica. Arnica is very good remedy before labor, during labor and after labor. Then if we have premature labor, then for relieving those pain, and if suppose the patient is suffering from false pain, they are not the true pain. Sometimes patient gives the false pain, but water breakage is not there. Then we cannot consider it as a show of labor. It is a false pain. Then we have the remedy opium and nux vomica. And if there is any sadness, mental sadness during delivery, not because of pain, pain do not give the chance to think anything about anything else. So it cannot make you nervous. But if any sadness is there, like as I mentioned, the male female child issue and sex determination, and the importance of male child in our country. If suppose anything happened there, then also you can think about Ignatia, Veratrum, Semicifuga, and many more remedies. But you need to collect this history before the labor. If you know the patient, you can help the patient during her labor in such condition. A dose every 15, 20 or 30 minutes as the case may require. If no relief follows the third or fourth dose, another remedy should be selected in this case. Now, if there is any rigidity of os, see, rigidity of os is a big issue. Sometimes uterus give the cramping pain, uterus try to expel the child, but the os, rigid os, is not allowing the cervix to open. So how will you deliver the child? For that we have remedies. Lobelia is specifically indicated by the thick, duffy and unyielding os, and gelsemium is for the soft and thin os. See, both agents are safer than chloroform. Sometimes, in allopathy word, they apply chloroform in such condition. But it is better if you can give homeopathy remedy. But for that, you need your obstetrician's opinion, whether the os is rigid, whether it is soft or hard. Then you can select your remedy. Trust me, I knew gelsemium only for examination funk and stage fear, but it is really a helpful remedy in such cases too. Then we have few other things or few other rubrics like os uteri during labor state of contracted spasmodically. For contracted os, that is narrow os or stenosis of os, we have sepia and belladonna. For stenosis of genital organ and urinary organs, we have the remedies from Apiaceae family. Please go and read Apiaceae family, plant kingdom. All the remedies from Apiaceae family are really useful in such cases. Then we have, if the os is dilated, still the lady is not able to deliver the child, then please give belladonna. If os is half open, then we have the remedy sepia. If os is too much rigid, then we have 18 remedies. I explained about lobelia, that is really important remedy, but still you have the choice. If you do not have lobelia at present in your chamber, you can give the some other remedy too. The important remedy can be gelsemium, colophyllum and chamomilla. So if you can watch here, you can observe colophyllum, pulsatilla, belladonna are coming up again and again. If soft os is there, we can have the astilago also. And if there is stenosis, it is not just the stenosis of os, but it is the stenosis of cervix. Then we have the remedy conium. And conium is again from the Apiaceae family. So please go and read conifera. Okay. Now fetal position. It is the positioning of the body of a prenatal fetus as it develops. In this position, the back is curved, the head is bowed, and the limbs are bent and drawn up to the torso like this. This is the normal fetal position. But if you have different position, like I remember in our last session, somebody asked me about the medicine for breech presentation. My dear friend, we have pulsatilla in such cases. You can change the presentation of the child. Then abnormal presentation, we have pulsatilla, arnica, aconite, and semicifuga, medorinum, sepia. Then if the fetus has lacking of room, like fetus is large and there is no place, and that's why if there is abnormal position of the fetus, then we can give the plumbum mat remedy to the mother during labor. And if fetus is crosswise, lying like a crosswise, then we have the remedy arnica. So for different conditions, we have different remedies. But one thing I want to ask here, do you really have the patients which you are going to help during labor? If you have patient, then it is well and good. If you do not have the direct patients because you are practicing homeopathy, then it is really necessary to tie up with some obstetricians. Just make them friends, go and represent yourself, show them the homeopathic remedies and request them that they should keep this remedy and how to prescribe them. Either they can call you or you can give them the instruction in a writing so that you can help the patient and they can deliver the child normally. You can avoid lot of cesarean sections. Then if we have the arrest development of fetus, then what will we do? Sometimes it happens, the fetus do not develop. Then we have the remedies second one mentioned here. But in my clinical practice, I use two remedies. When patient visit me with the sonography report, which shows small for date, means sonography showing the duration of pregnancy is 36 weeks and the child's development, fetus development is just 32 weeks or 30 weeks. At that time, usually the allopath suggests some salines and IV fluids with some injections. But I suggest only two remedies: morning Borax 200, evening Calcirafos 200. Give it for 8 to 10 days and you will get normal report. For the next rubric is dead fetus expelled. Suppose if dead fetus is there and it is expelled, it also causes injury and some poisonous state inside the mother's body. Then to relieve it immediately, we have Cantharis, Pulsatilla and Ruta. Why Ruta? Because it causes injury to the pelvic part of the mother. And if the dead fetus is retained, still then we have the remedy, that is aristocrat and mandarium. See, mandarium is a nosode. We can use it and aristocrat, but I don't have the experience with this rubric. So I won't suggest you to use it because usually obstetricians do not contact a homeopath, at least in India, for such condition. They just operate, either operate or they give something to expel the child. Retained placenta. Here we can definitely help. Retained placenta is a condition in which all or part of the placenta or membranes remain in the uterus during the third stage of labor. See, when the mother delivers the child, after 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, she delivers the placenta. But sometimes what happens, the contraction of uterus start and the placenta got retained. See, when I was student in my college, uh, I used to practice in one gynecology hospital, as I told you. And there was a lady, she came for labor. She was 20 years old, just 20 years old. And she delivered the child, and doctors were talking among them. No doctor was there actually. The nurses were delivering the child. And it was a government hospital. And then the placenta got retained. The nurse immediately called up the doctor. The doctor came. Meanwhile, she suggested the nurse to give some injections, but the injections didn't work. And when the doctor reached there, the uterus already been contracted. It was closed. But doctor, with her hand, dilated it and she put her hand inside the uterus. And she tried to pull out the placenta out. It was very terrific scene, horrible to see. And the girl, she was just 20 years old. She landed in hypovolemic shock, unfortunately. And the anesthetist, he immediately started searching for her veins to inject some IV fluid. But veins were not appearing and it was a critical state of the patient. Finally, the anesthetist did the venesection in her ankles and he injected two IVs together at a time. And they started some fluid just to pull her out from the hypovolemia. But unfortunately, after 30 minutes struggle, the lady died. And I witnessed this case, and at that moment, I decided that I will never deliver a child throughout my life because that incident created very bad impact on my memory. So, in such conditions, we can really help. We can request the obstetrician to keep our remedies in their chamber. Though medical science advanced today, because I am talking 22 years back incident, but today medical science is really advanced. But sometimes God knows you can help. Who knows that how much homeopathy can help in such condition? So just request them to keep our remedies with them. For retained placenta, we have 32 remedies. And the major remedies sepia, cantharis, and lycopodium. And for retained placenta after abortion, because sometimes even after abortion at 6 7 months, we have the retained placenta. To expel that placenta, again we have the same remedies: sepia, sabina, sicken, and veratrum. This is veratrum ver, not veratrum al. Now, one more complication we face after normal labor, that is flooding, lot of bleeding. This is one of the most serious accidents which complicate the expulsion of the afterbirth. The hemorrhage often occurs with a rush a few minutes after the child is born, sometimes or in rare cases even for several days. And then later on we have lochia. After delivery, a healthy discharge takes place, which in color and appearance at first resembles that of menstruation. Gradually, however, it becomes lighter, yellowish, and before its cessation, it becomes slightly colored. This change from red to a yellowish tinge is generally effected in about a week. For that, we have some treatment. Aconite we can give in the plethoric patients with profuse bright red discharge and quick pulse. We have pulsatilla, simple scanty discharge for simple and scanty discharge, but simple discharge means white leukorrhea. And we have belladonna if discharge is scanty but associated with headache, flush face, and very offensive lochia. There are different types of lochia and we have remedies for that. Fortunately, our pioneers really worked hard and they gave everything ready in our plant. But see, problem is that we do not read it. Even we have the remedy for green lochia, gushing lochia, hot lochia. For example, for green lochia, we have remedy sickle core. For gushing lochia, we have again sickle core along with platina. If there is hot lochia, we have belladonna. Sometimes lochia is too offensive. Then we have 32 remedies. You can put this rubric in your repertory software and you can get all the remedies. Then if there is lochia with increased sexual desire, see, God has created woman and woman is a deep suspense throughout the world. Nobody can understand the woman actually because whenever her hormones got changed, she becomes a different person. And all of a sudden, she may feel sexual desire during the period of lochia because it wets the internal part of vagina and cervix and it gives her the sexual desire. If it is increased sexual desire during lochia, then we have the remedy veratrum work for such condition. And if suppose lochia is suppressed due to any means or some antibiotics or other medication, then we have the remedies like bryonia, pyrogenum, and sulfur or baptisia. See, suppression of any discharge is not allowed. Lochia is a normal discharge after normal labor, it should be there. If it is suppressed, like lady complained that even after normal delivery, doctor, I had only bleeding only for 2 or 3 days and no leukorrhea and no bleeding at all after normal labor. It is not a normal sign. If it is there after cesarean, then it is normal because during cesarean, doctors evacuate everything, all the liquid and blood from the uterus with the help of evacuation machine. But after normal delivery, the lochia, the normal discharge, the bleeding and leukorrhea must be there. Now, next complaint after delivery is constipation and urinary difficulties. Like in 3 4 days, however, if the patient has had no evacuation, sometimes it happens. The lady do not go for motion 3 4 days after normal delivery, and it may create headache or uneasiness to her. So we have bryonia in such condition, which can really relieve her. After this, if necessary, use Nux vomica or sulfur. See, we have one rubric here, constipation after delivery, and we have 16 remedies. Again, the bryonia, collinsonia, Nux vomica are on the top. Then for retentive urine, the ability to pass urine, which sometimes follows parturition, may generally be relieved by aconitum. But if there are few doses, this does not succeed and there is great urging, camphora may be given at every 20 minutes for 3 to 4 times. For retention of urine immediately after delivery, we have 20 remedies and camphora and aconite is one of them. This is for retentive urine. But sometimes what happens? There is incontinence of urine. The lady may suffer continuous urine. Urine is dribbling and sometimes she really need to wear the pad for not for the menses or menstrual bleeding, but to stop the uh, uneasiness from the incontinence of urine. Here is a very beautiful case. 27 years old lady faced incontinence of urine after labor with severe headache. She was literally shouting because of her headache. IV painkiller was given to her because she was admitted in hospital. which reduced headache, but leakage of urine was saved. 8 days after labor, her sister contacted me as seeking some solution. I asked about her behavior. Her sister said she is very sensitive, weeps a lot, especially during pains. She says her brain floats to and fro during headache. See, to and fro, not up and down. According to her, her family doesn't value her. During her menses, she feels weak and needs rest, but does not take it as her family may blame her or consider that she is lame. I asked her, is the family really accusing her or is it just her assumption? Because you need to be very clear with these symptoms. See, try to understand whether it is delusion, wrong assumption of patient, or it is the reality which is going on with her. Sister said, I never observed them behaving wrong. But my sister always feels that they are not counting her dutiful nature and dedication towards family. About her past history, she had piles, chronic constipation, and hard stools. And in the college days, she used to get frequent vaginal infection. So for me, see, as my habit, I always take the keynote points how to prescribe. So for me, need of recognition was there, weeping disposition, sensation of brain floating to and fro during headache. First of all, I thought about cannabis indica. But in cannabis indica, there is a sensation of vertex opening and closing like this. So it was not suitable here. Then incontinence of urine, typical weakness from loss of fluid because she felt she used to feel weak during menses only and wanted to take rest, but she felt that if I will take rest, my family will accuse me. So it is a wrong belief that family or everybody is accusing her. And that's why the patient feels that I am not being recognized for my duties and dedication towards family. So I considered this point need of recognition and her constipation, hemorrhoids, fungal infection, everything together landed in Lamium alba. Lamium alba is a very good remedy and it has an affinity for female urinary organs. She also suffers from hemorrhoids, stools are hard with blood in it, and she complains of a peculiar sensation as though a drop of water is flowing through urethra. Here she means our Lamium alba patient, not the patient from the case, but all the Lamium alba patients have this sensation that there is a tap is open. The urine is continuously flowing from the urethra. So I gave her Lamium alba 200 in water dose to take frequently, one dose every morning for 7, 8, 10 days, and later on the patient was finally good. For sore nipple, see, it is again one complication after normal level. In most cases, there is a tendency to excoriation and soreness. And for such condition, we can apply the lotion which we can prepare by putting hydrostis in some or tincture of hydrostis or arnica, or you can take the mother tincture of arnica and 10 drops of arnica mother tincture or hydrostis mother tincture with 20 drops of water. It can be distilled water or the water from aquaguard you can use, and make a lotion and apply it after every lactation when the baby sucked. Then we have one good remedy, castor equi, for sore nipples. Clinically verified by Dr. Herring and other provers, this remedy is established as a very useful one for cracked and unulcerated nipples. Warts are found on forehead and on breast. See, we need to treat these conditions immediately because the child must get the breast milk. And if soreness of nipple is there or cracked in the nipple, the mother won't be able to breastfeed the child. Nipples are sore and tender to touch, swelling of mammae, and she has violent itching of breast. Areola is reddened. In castor equi, the potency may vary as per your decision. When you see the depth of the pain or the depth of the sensation of pain in the patient, you can prescribe accordingly. Then we have mammary abscess or gathered abscess after normal labor. These diseases may arise at any time during the nursing period, but is most likely to occur about the 4th or 5th day after delivery. For this, we have the Bryannia alba, first remedy. Belladonna may alternate with Bryannia every 3 hours if the surface of the breast has an erysipelatous and glossy appearance. Or you can prescribe aconite if the lady have pain with this soreness of breast or gathered abscess of breast. Then the important remedy for breast is Phytolica decandra. Inflammatory engorgement of glands, mammary gland, it may be used internally and as a lotion externally. Then we have some remedies for gathered abscess like phosphorus. Then we have silicea because it usually aborts the abscesses. Then we have china and arsenic album. You can prescribe arsenic album if the abscess has burning pain and great debility in the patient. Then for retarded milk, suppose sometimes the mother is not able to breastfeed the child because there is a scanty milk, and breastfeed is the we can say the basic right of the child. So child must get the breastfeed. You can help the patient homeopathically. We have this rubric chest milk absent delivery often, and we have 14 remedies for this condition like calcarea, carb, causticum, pulsatilla. But clinically, I do suggest few more remedies like Sebel cerulata, also important in such cases. You can even alternate calcarea carb with Sebel cerulata. Potency should be 200. For milk decreased, we have 5 remedies and milk failing to release the milk. Sometimes there is total absence of milk after labor. For that, we have 11 remedies. Because see, in this condition, your allopath cannot induce the milk by giving any remedy, but a homeopath can do it. So just prescribe the remedy which is appropriate according to the patient. Don't forget to collect 2 mentals and 2 physical generals from the patient and then match it with this rubric and then prescribe. It will definitely work. Don't get impatient and suggest the patient to keep patience. See, if you prescribe remedy today, it's not possible that the breast will start milk, secretion of milk immediately. In Marathi, there is a proverb, "तूप खाल्याबरोबर रूप नाहीये." It means if you will eat butter on the same day, your skin will not glow. You have to give the time. So wait for 2-3 days, you will definitely get the results. Here I am sharing a very beautiful case. A 33 years old female came to my clinic 2 hours before her appointment, constantly troubling to my staff by asking, when can I go inside? When asked to sit and wait, she sat, but within 5 minutes she was again at reception. I was watching her through my CCTV camera. When she finally could enter in my chamber, she even did not sit and started talking about her complaint. See her impatient behavior. See her anxiety. She said, "Doctor, I delivered a child 3 months back, but I have very less breast milk. My child will suffer from major disorders as he won't get breast milk." She might have heard it from somebody that breast milk is very important for the child and it may give the antibodies to the child. And she was telling me the same thing, that it is important for his immunity. My friend had this same trouble. You solved it. Hence, I wanted to meet you as soon as possible. She had leukorrhea, leg cramps, and fungus in the neck. She had primary infertility for 5 years, and menses were extremely painful. So I took all these key points and just make one map, and this map landed me with the remedy Carum carvi. It is from the family Apiaceae. I already told you to read this family. So go and read Carum carvi. My potency only I will share here. It is 200. The rest the characteristic symptoms you got in this case. So Carum carvi relieved her and she started her breast milk in good quantity. Her breast secreted milk in good quantity and the child could suck the breast milk. Thank God in future her child uh, will get good immunity and he may get good antibodies as per her consideration. If there is excessive milk, sometimes it happens. See, patient sometimes visitors, a lady with 2 or 3 months child usually visitors for some other thing, and you can observe from her dress also, even after her from her sari also, you can observe the milk is flowing out through the breast. It is the excessive milk complaint, And for such condition, we have 40 remedies, but clinically experienced remedy is Briony alba. It can help in the secretion, in stopping the excessive secretion. See, nothing is good. No less, no high. No less, no more. It should be within normal limit. Everything should be within normal limit. So here I am with some small and rare remedies with specific indication. This is not only for breast but throughout all the lochia and other troubles too. One important remedy is Anantherium muriaticum. Anantherium, which is prepared out of Indian khaskhas. You know khaskhas we use in our kitchen. Useful in swollen breast with induration. Breasts are hard to touch and nipples are excoriated. Then we have the another remedy, Apium graveolens. It is useful on ovary as well as nipples. Nipples are very tender to touch. Sleep does not generally relate. She has strong desire for apples. You know, APM patient can work very well even in a short span of sleep. Like if I do not able to sleep for 6 or 7 hours within 24 hours day, I may lack my energy. There can be confusion or brain fog. It is normal to every human being. But APM patient can work with 2 to 3 hours sleep only. They are as fresh as they are just got up and they are ready on their tip for any work. She has strong desire for apples and strongly loss of sleep does not fatigue the patient. Then we have important remedies, Scrophularia nodosa. I use this mother tincture in all the cases of fibroadenoma of breast in my clinic. Powerful homeopathic medicine for tumor in breast, Scrophularia nodosa is a rare but very significant homeopathic medicine that can be used for dissolving the tumors, lumps, nodes or indurations in breast. This medicine is mainly used in tincture form. Then we have very good remedy that is mammary gland remedy. I have this remedy only in 30 potency at my clinic. So I use it in 30 potency only. Painful mammary or tender mammary glands, when indicated remedy fail to act, think of mammary gland 30C. And you know it is a sarcode. So you can use it as even as an intercurrent to support the mammary gland. In all cases of cancer or fibroadenoma of breast or fibroadenosis, whatever happens with the mammary gland, you can support the mammary gland with this remedy and it is as useful as an intercurrent remedy for fibroadenoma. Then very much beneficial remedy in breast cancer is Buforana, which we prepare from the poison of toad. Menses appear too early, leukorrhea will be thin and watery. This remedy is reported to be very good for epileptic conditions too. In women, epilepsy appears at the time of menses. In duration of mammary glands, Bufo is used as a palliative of cancer of mammary. So whenever you feel that you are not able to create a certain result or a big result in cancer cases of mammary, use Bufo as a palliative remedy. Blood will be seen in breast milk. Veins of breast are swollen. Amorous disposition, shameless patient. Amorous means when the patient have desire to maintain strong physical relationship with a married person. It is known as amorous. Promiscuous behavior is different. In promiscuous, like phosphorus is promiscuous remedy. In promiscuous behavior, patient can keep sexual relation with more than one partner. So there is a difference. Disposition to handle genitals in Buforana as we have they in Hysiamus too. Then masturbation and Bufo patient always seeks loneliness or they search the privacy so that they can masturbate. Lymphatic drainage complaints of arm after mastectomy. I had one patient who had swelling here in right hand after her breast removal or after the surgery done for right breast removed for breast cancer mastectomy and during this surgery there might have some lymphatic suppression lymphatic vein suppression and due to that she had a strong swelling a large, like bulky swelling in her right hand. And I gave her this Buforana, which relieved her a lot, not cured, but relieved. So for your takeaway message for today's session, I tried to explain whichever good remedies we can use, because see, practically a homeopath do not get the cases of labor. But still, if you have good contact with obstetrician, we can help the patient, or we can give the remedies at least to our family members and friends. They will trust you and they will keep your remedies throughout the normal delivery session, throughout the pregnancy. So keep 4-5 remedies like Coliphylum 30, Simicifuga 30, Gelsemium 30 and Pulsatilla 30. For the week 39, 40 and beyond, give each homeopathic medicines as per the individuality. Or you can give every remedy as per every week for the normal labor. They are helpful in inducing the normal labor. By Coliphylum, the indications are weak contractions, contraction with no dilatation, thick and closed cervix, stuck, muscular weakness, exhausted, nervous patient, and also great for after birth pains. Simicifuga is good remedy for sharp spasms, contractions feel like electric shocks, and failure to progress and dilate. If there is failure to progress, though with sharp pains, the lady is not able to deliver the child, just give Simicifuga 30. Add this remedy in the water and give this water every 10 minutes during labor. She will deliver the child. Sorry. Then we have Gelsemium, likely to be effective when Coliphylum fails to act. End of the labor. Ineffectual contractions are there because already I discussed for the rigidity of earth, and good for anticipation anxiety. See, Gelsemium is always good for anticipation of anxiety because the patient always fearful for the performance. There is always a great fear of performance. Whether I can do it, whether I can deliver the child normally or not. So we can give the Gelsemium, which can relieve her anxiety and will help in the rigidity of os and will help in the normal delivery. Then Pulsatilla, again the queen remedy. Emotional, cries easily, anxious, and patient is sensitive to pain. Though she wants to deliver the child normally, but still there is sensation or fear of the pains, which every lady has, and feels better with open air fanning, like she wants fanning and windows to be open during labor, and there is lack of thrust. Though the throat become dry, she sweats a lot during labor, during pains, and still she do not want water. So this is the keynote for Pulsatilla. So these all are the important remedies which I could discuss or share with you for the obstetric sessions. And for informative videos, you can subscribe my channel. For the queries, you can mail me. This is my website, email, and my WhatsApp number. And still, I am present here. We can discuss live. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask me. I would love to answer you. Thank you, Dr. Deepu and Excel and IHMA Kerala for giving this platform to share my knowledge here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, it is a wonderful session. So I think there are a lot more doubts in the chat box. Oh my God.
Yes.
So you can, okay. I will ask from the, if you are having any doubts regarding the session which she taken, please ask on that relevant to the topic. If the uterus is congenitally small, which causes recurrent abortion after 3 months, is it possible to cope up?
Yeah, why not? Because see, in last session also I discussed for about hypoplasia of uterus. And if you remember during this session also I discussed about hypoplasia of uterus. So you can consider the rubric infantilism genitalia or atrophy of uterus. And we have many remedies like we have borax, we have conium, we have iodinum, and we have calcarea first. And I had one patient. She was 18 years old, and her mother visited me for dysmenorrhea, extreme dysmenorrhea, because of this hypoplasia of uterus. I gave her calcarea first 200 in the morning and borax 200 in the evening for 2-3 months regular in water doses, not the dry doses. And later on, She got the result, and there is no pain right now, no dysmenorrhea, and her sonography report suggested that her uterus is in the normal shape now. See, usually we cannot help with the hypoplasia, but for my surprise, I got this result, and I included this case in my upcoming book. Dr. Dipu, I am writing a book and it will very soon publish about gynecology, everything about gynecology. So you will get lot of cases, lot of remedies in that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Also, some people are asked regarding this hydraminose, oligohydraminose, like that.
See, sometimes,
Polyhydraminose.
yes, sometimes we cannot help in such situations. So please be honest with your patient and suggest them to visit their surgeon or gynecologist. Everything you cannot deal with homeopathy.
Okay, ma'am. So,
Yes,
backache and muscular cramps after the cesarean section.
Backache and muscular cramps. So,
Yeah.
see, there is one good remedy for muscular cramps, that is Simicifuga, and second is Platina. Platina has this typical lumbar cramps after labor. So, we can prescribe both the remedies in low potency, 30 potency, and we can repeat it 3 times per day. Don't prescribe higher remedies because the mother will start breastfeeding in such condition. Any more
Okay, ma'am.
question, doctor?
Yeah. There are questions actually. Ma'am, can we prevent second month abortion by giving medicine before conceiving for a patient having previous history? If so, which medicine can be considered?
You can prescribe any remedy, my dear, but two important remedies for such condition is really good Viburnum opulus and Auramur nitronitrum. If there
Okay.
is a history of miscarriage in the past pregnancy, and if it is in the early months of pregnancy, like 1 or 2 or 3 first trimester, then these remedies will really help you to prevent abortion and to set this syphilitic background of the patient.
Okay. Ma'am, recurrent blitted ovum. Somebody asked blitted ovum. Blitted
Recurrent.
ovum. Blitted ovum. BLIT. Blitted ovum. I
I
don't know.
didn't get this question.
Okay,
Can
ma'am.
she
Okay.
elaborate it?
Yeah. Dr. Shanda, can you just elaborate it? If anybody wants to ask ma'am, please raise your hands. I will unmute them. You can talk to ma'am directly. Ma'am, after emergency LC lower segment cesarean session due to profuse premature leaking, is there any need to give any nosol or sarco to baby or mother? And if yes, then is there any specific?
No, not nosod or sarcode in such condition, but arnica definitely.
Okay.
Because again, it may create injury to her
Can we
pelvic and
take
delicate
questions
part.
can we take questions on endometriosis?
Yes, of course, we can have this
Let me see.
remedy. See, my dear friend, in last session, I explained about endometriosis. And if you remember, I told that we have 12 remedies for this rubric, endometriosis, and the important remedy is xanthoxylum. And I think today also I talked about this xanthoxylum in this
Ma'am,
session, or I don't remember. But
blitted ovum means ma'am double ovum actually, double ovum.
can you repeat the full question, Dr. Dipu?
Recurrent blitted ovum, continuous spotting. Yes, that is the question actually she sent to me. I don't know.
Gestational sac without ovum. Oh, I could not read this question. Bilateral. I think she is asking about two ovums at one time.
Yeah.
So how can we help in this? Belated ovum, she is asking. Belated ovum. Can you elaborate this question, Dr. Surya?
Bilated ovum. Blitted ovum, I think. Blitted ovum I have heard of, I think.
Bleated ovum,
Yeah.
you need to explain in detail, my dear. Bleated ovum, what is the condition? I actually never got this patient in my practice. So you have to elaborate what is the bleated ovum First, you need to
Ma'am, it is a
explain me, I will
condition that
answer.
occurs when a gestational sac develops without an embryo. It is a gestational sac develops without an embryo. That is the condition
Gestational
actually.
sac, okay, without ovum. So how can you
Yeah.
help her? If there is gestational sac without ovum, we cannot
Without
help this
without
patient.
embryo, ma'am. Without
Without
embryo.
embryo. So
Yeah.
in this condition, the embryo must be there in the tube. It can be ectopic pregnancy, doctor.
Dr. Sunita, you can unmute and ask the question.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Kavita.
Good evening.
Yeah, just had a case who had lochia for 6 months.
Oh.
Okay. 6 months continuously the lochia was there, and the patient now complains, the child is 3 years old, and the patient is now complaining that since her delivery, after her pregnancy, she is having continuous severe body pain.
Okay.
Severe body pain, and she is not able to tolerate. So now she's going for physiotherapy, which is not helping her. And there is history of abortion before this delivery, which she had to do forcefully because her husband was not interested in the pregnancy. So that guilt feeling was there. So she got over the guilt feeling after she delivered this child. Okay. And during this pregnancy also, she lost her father to suicide during the last days of her pregnancy, last 1 month of her pregnancy. So all this combined, and that lochia which prolonged for 6 months, after all this, now she's complaining of severe pain. So is there any specific, like we have to approach it with any Sarcode or Nosode, like guide me?
Yes, Dr. Sarita, thank you for a nice question. See, you can definitely help her because there is one mental shock or grief uh, because of the first abortion which she induced, which she did not want. Second, her father committed suicide during her second pregnancy. So it was again a mental shock. And sometimes, as you know, we get lot of bleeding or menorrhagia even after the grief or mental shock. And the best remedy in such condition is ignitia. And her grief is really deep and chronic. So my suggestion is that just give her ignitia 10 ml water dose first, once in a week, or you can put ignitia 10 ml in 100 ml of water. Give this bottle to the lady and suggest her to take one spoon of this water morning, evening, and give 10 strokes on the hand before taking it. Wait for 8 days. In these 8 days, her lochia will definitely reduce.
Now her lochia has gone. Now the child is already 3 years old.
Okay.
But the pain, the body pain which she started suffering from then is still continuing.
So it will relieve her body pain also, doctor. Because we need to, first of all, we need to address her mental level. Later on, we need to address her hormonal level. And later on, we need to address her physical level. So by addressing ignitia, by giving ignitia, you are addressing her mental level. Later on, you can give some muscle relaxants. Like we have Bryonia, which can help and which can go with ignitia also. But give ignitia for 8 days, wait. Later on, give her Bryonia 31 dose every morning just to relax her muscle and stiffness of the bones also. And then just ask her to report you after 1 month and see the changes. You will definitely get positive changes, and she won't need any physiotherapist no more, because physiotherapy is a good option, Dr. Sunita, but it is temporary. It is temporary. How long she will go for the physiotherapy? She is not going to go there for years.
Correct.
So she needs something from your side.
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Sunita, you can unmute yourself. If you wanted to talk, or I think she's accidentally good. Patient at menopausal age having profuse menses, advised hysterectomy. Now fibroids gave constitutional specific intercurrent antimiasmatics, still could not help this patient. Any suggestion how to handle such patient?
See, when there is a menorrhagia in menopausal age, but there is no fibroid tumor, then we have 3 remedies for such condition, doctor. The first is platina, second is lachesis, and the third remedy is semicifuga. So I think in such condition, go with lachesis. Because this is menopausal bleeding, and for menopausal bleeding, lachesis really works very well. So I don't know how the constitutionally patient is, because you have the patient. I'm not able to see the patient here. But my suggestion is that any bleeding during menopausal age, think about lachesis and platinum.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I have a question.
Yeah.
Like you said, for the change of the position of the fetus in pregnancy, if it is malposition, you suggested pulsatilla for bridge presentation. But we have time limit for it, you know, like we can't do it in the later months of third trimester of pregnancy when there is less space for the movement of the fetus. So at what time do you expect that such medicine should be given?
Yeah, you can give. See, because it is homeopathic remedy, it will definitely do something good and well for you. And they are non-toxic remedies. So we can prescribe and we can change the presentation during the last trimester too. It is not restricted till second trimester only. You can change the presentation because I remember one case when I was a student and our senior doctor gave one remedy pulsatilla tenuum in water doses for the 6 to 7 days during last trimester of the patient who was diagnosed with breech presentation, and she could deliver the child though the presentation didn't change, but her delivery becomes soft, her delivery become normal. So we can help in both the ways. So you can prescribe our remedy, either they will do good or they won't do anything. See, homeopathy is there to tune what is mistuned. If it will tune the presentation or position of the fetus, it is well and good. If it won't be able to tune it, it will not do anything else. And already it is mistuned. So the child, doctors will deliver the child with LSCS. But see, 50-50% chances are there, and you can help with the homeopathic remedy to the patient. So you just prescribe the remedy. Don't worry at all. You can give it to the in the third trimester or just before the labor to patient. It can help.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So there are some questions in the chat box, ma'am. Lady aged 38 years, milk in breast since 2 months. She still have regular periods, no pregnancy. Any suggestions?
No pregnancy and milk in the breast.
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be because of hormonal imbalancing. Just ask the lady how many times she have consumed the hormonal pills, because it may create this side effect, or in the past she might have irregular menses. So you have to address her endocrinal axis first, and then you can stop her excessive breast milk or this breast milk. And sometimes, doctor, uh, this milk is only small, 1 or 2 drops per day. So in this condition, just ignore it. Don't give any medicine if it is just 1 or 2 drops per day. But if it is more than that, then you need to ask the patient. See, a few months ago, I had a Sindhi patient who visited me, and she was a married lady having 2 kids, and she had the blood discharge from her nipples. So I investigated everything. I suggested her mammography, everything, because I wanted to rule out the cancer, because this was the bleeding blood discharge, not the milky discharge. But later on, all the investigations came normal, and I just give her her constitutional remedy, and she become normal. So we can prescribe the remedy in such condition, just the constitutional one. Do not go with
Okay.
other remedies, but yes, you can prescribe mammary gland 30 remedy as a support to support the condition.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, management of eclampsia. I think.
Eclampsia already talked in last session, Dr.
Yeah,
Devo.
yeah. I was just
Adrenalinum,
wondering.
you remember adrenalinum? I explained in
Yeah. You
detail.
told me. I
Yes,
thought. Yeah, ma'am.
and just suggest this doctor to visit our YouTube channel.
Yes. We can see
Yeah.
either in ma'am's YouTube channel or in IHMA YouTube channel. This video will be uploaded. No problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Last
So
video they have already on our YouTube channels.
yeah. Then infertility questions are some of the infertility questions are there, ma'am. Can we take that?
About infertility, we already discussed in gynae
Yes, ma'am.
session.
Yes.
So
Yes,
please
ma'am.
suggest them to visit our YouTube channel to see that videos. And if still they
Okay.
have any query, they can mail me anytime. I have shared my mail ID with you.
Okay, ma'am. So can we conclude the session, ma'am?
Yes, before that, I'll again share my mail ID with them. That will be helpful. Any more question? If you have, you can ask till then.
Definitely, ma'am. Harshala's question. Harshala, many ladies have very small sized breast and after delivery, milk is insufficient. So, is there any medication which can develop breast properly?
My dear friend, during pregnancy or yes, during antenatal period, already we get these changes in the breast size. But still, suppose if there insufficient milk due to atrophy of breast, then go with conium iodine. It will help in the enlargement of the breast, and later on go with Brinia, which will help you in increase the secretion of the milk. Any more question, doctor?
Yeah. I'm just counting it. To suppress milk in fetal death.
See, we should not suppress the milk. See, suppose there is no fetus, if the fetus died, but still we should not suppress the milk. It is the normal secretion of our body. It is such a normal secretion that we are making the remedy from this, that is lac humana. So why to suppress it? You can use some pump or you can press the breast on the napkin and you can just make the milk to come out. But do not suppress it with any medication. Let it come out.
Actually,
If you
adenomyosis, I think.
suppress it, it will you will get the milk glands in your breast, and later on it may convert into the abscess. So don't suppress it. Okay.
Ma'am, some questions regarding adenomyosis came. Nivedita. You can unmute Nivedita. You can ask question, Nivedita. Hello.
Hi, Nivedita.
I think her range is not good, I think.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So we have a unmarried girl with the cracked nipple, milk discharge. How to treat?
Just give her crocus sativa. It is a very good remedy for this condition.
Retracted nipple, baby unable to latch on. What to give?
See, retracted nipple is the sign of cancer. First thing, you need to search or you need to see in depth to the patient what is happening in her body. Is there any pathology? First thing. Second, if there is no pathology, still the nipple is retracted, then we have few remedies which can help you like Cilicia or Hipasa. But I'm not sure about this. For that, one suggestion is that cut the front part of the series and retract the nipple with the syringe. Syringe, we use for the injection, the syringe, and retract the nipple. Do this every day for 5 minutes, morning and evening, and gradually the nipples will come out. So for every condition, we do not need to put remedies in our patient. Sometimes technically or manually, you can help the patient.
Thank you. So I think we can conclude, ma'am.
Yes, and very soon, friends, very soon we are uploading this video on our YouTube channel, Dr. Deepu's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel, Dr. Kavita Chandak. So if you have any queries, you just watch the video first. Still then you have any queries, come back to me on my mail ID.
And
okay?
I have a suggestion for the audience. If you many questions I omitted because which have been discussed earlier in our lectures. So please go through the previous lectures both in ma'am's channel and my channel. Also, I added some links. So thank you so much, ma'am, for having a wonderful session. And it's a great privilege for us to host you more time than any other association. And we also have one session, but that will be on season 2 of Excel, and we are concluding by this 27. So the next session will be on next month. So we hope everybody will with you. So thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for the wonderful audience. And
thank you, everyone. And Dr. Deepu, just tell them about our menu of the next session. That is about breastfeeding and breast cancer.
Yes. That is our topic, and we will post the update in our groups. So please be active in our group and keep supporting us. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Hope to see you later. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.